3 new heroes come to Wall Rift, bunch of hero adjustment balances, bunch of item adjustment balances, infinite cooldown reduction aka Ability Haste. We're gonna explain all of that and more in today's video. Let's go.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you, just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with
Yo guys, welcome back. This is your guy AssassinDave. Now before we get into explanation of what Ability Haste really is, I just want to go over quickly with all the patch notes to show you a lot of important stuff that is happening in this upcoming update. It's really exciting. I can't wait for it. So let's dive in. Now first and foremost, we do have 3 new champions, Darius, Draven, as well as Wukong coming out. I heard a lot of people are really excited about Draven. Now picking out those axes is a pain in the butt, but once you do that, the damage, the reward, the gold bonuses, the snowball potential is through the roof. And Darius, all I can say is finally another contestant on the side lane, because right now we know the side lane are dominated by lolwr, by Gragas. Monkey King Wukong is one of the most fun fighters you can play, brooders you can play in the game, and again, I cannot wait for this hero to be released, to test him in different positions. Personally, this hero fits my playstyle a lot. It's one of an assassin fighter type of style, so let's go. Now I'm going to skip through a lot of features and obviously a lot of cool new skin that came out in this patch, but most importantly, the update that I see is the champion balances coming to the game. Alistar is getting a little bit changed in early game, making a little bit weaker in early game, but stronger in the late game once you finish leveling up the headbutt. You can see the cooldown reduction is getting readjusted. Gragas, we know how strong this hero is, but they feel like Gragas is not strong enough. So the ultimate exploding gas has now changed from 6 frames to 4 frames. Now that is insane. Means like you can cast this skill about 30% faster, right? 33% faster than before. That's 2 frame reduction. With that being said, you can now combo a lot better with Gragas. You're not gonna miss your ultimate that easily. Jenna has gotten a buff on damage, on everything actually, because Jenna, they feel like it's a little bit weak. I have not played Jenna that much. I do feel like Jenna is already pretty annoying with all those shields and stuff. Still, you know, whatever makes the players happy, right? Now Shyvana got a huge nerf. The Dragon Form Flame Breath, your E, your skill 3, let's just call it skill 3, let's call it, not call it E anymore. Skill 3 Flame Breath from the Dragon Form, damage got a huge reduction. So if you really want to play Shyvana to its fullest potential, you want to make sure you take those objectives, take those dragons. In this case, it's going to be the Infernal Dragon to buff your Flame Breath to true damage. So Tryndamere, they're going to go ahead and increase Tryndamere's ability in the team fights to make him a lot stronger. The ultimate cooldown has been reduced late game. They feel like Tryndamere is not as strong as they would like this hero to be. I mean, sure, Tryndamere is really easily countered, but I think even if you with this buff, this hero is just not really a meta hero, you know? Right? You don't fight him when he has that rage on and you get counter heal, so he cannot heal back up. Twisted Fate, the card rotation time has been reduced by 0.1 second out of the 0.7. Make it faster to rotate those cards. Then you can cast your skill faster, more agile. I absolutely love it. I think the Million Mages Twisted Fate, to add this hero, make it more mainstream, more meta, will definitely add more varieties on Million Mage choices. Mana adjustment, I have seen this come in. I feel like all those heroes in the game, they can just cast skills and cast skills in Wall Rift without any punishment. Israel, right? We know the auto aim already make this hero insanely strong. You don't really have to cast skills. You can play the game with 300 ping still with no problem. Play Israel, I mean. Mainly because you can just click on the skills without aiming. This hero is supposed to be the most micro-intensive hero, but in Wall Rift, somehow it's an entry-level marksman. Everybody can play it, and you can instantly become good at it, as long as you don't just jump in your enemy team and die. But all those heroes now, mana regen has been nerfed. So that means they can cast skills less frequently, or they're going to run out of mana really fast. I do not know how this is going to affect the game yet, because it just came out, and we're going to test this a lot more to see how this is actually going to affect your in-game experiences. You can see a lot of heroes getting changed on that mana regeneration. Just means that right now, if you want to take a team fight, if you want to stay on the battlefield longer, you cannot do that anymore. You have to go back to base. Now here comes the item changes. We're taking a look at the feedback around tank feeling weak and making some adjustment to both tanks and anti-tank items to get the big boys and girls back on the front line. Absolutely true. The tanks are just getting melted right now. But if you get 3 tanks in one team, like, you know, Gragas side lane, like an Alistar support or a Braum support, and then you get like really tanky jungle, right? You know, for example, a Shyvana, right? Or an lolwr or a Vi, right? All of a sudden, you just form a wall and nobody can break through that wall. Tank item Mercury Threats, the tenacity have increased from 30% to 35%. That's a 5% increase, means all the quad control on you going to be reduced for a lot more. We all know that the QSS, the Quicksilver, do not clear you from knockup in this game, right? If you get knocked up, you get knocked up, right? That's the quad control that's the highest in this game right now. It's kind of like suppression. If you play other MOBAs, it cannot be purified. It cannot be cleared off. Now that is so insane because there's so many knockups in this game. So I wonder if tenacity works on those. But overall, your slow duration that's going to be put on you, the stun duration, the freeze duration, whatever the other type of quad control that's put on you, the duration will be reduced even more. So the Mercury Threats might become the next big thing. Right? Ninja Tabby, auto attack damage reduction has been reduced from 10% to 15%. If you are going against, obviously tank are going to go against the marksman lane. Now this is going to be your go-to item. I already built that, like I said, on tanks. Mercury tries to do it on when I play jungle, when I play mid, if enemy team have a lot of quad control. Ninja Tabby for supports. I mean, that's going to be insane. You can now take auto attack damage a lot more than before. That's a 5% damage reduction Riot is giving you by default if you just build this item. Now obviously you can now take that a step further and really build a Gargoyles enchant. Relative to other enchants, Gargoyles were weak and it wasn't worth buying on tanks. We are significantly powering it up. Significantly, okay? Health bonuses 40 to 100%, increased to 65 to 130%. Now that is insane. You can now really buy this item. You're going to get a lot of health back. Now obviously Gargoyle is going to reduce your damage while you're taking having the extra health. But it doesn't really matter, because you're not really doing damage. So you can really engage with this item and just use Gargoyles enchant, and all of a sudden you're gonna have 130% extra health. God damn, that is so crazy, bro. I need to go test this shit. Like I really need to go test this shit. Just 1 second. So Warmox give me the most health. I will just buy this item, Ninja Tabby, and then turn that into a Gargoyles enchant. So okay, my total health right now is 5470. So if I just activate it, I will read how much I have. Okay, activate it. 9026. Oh my god. And if I have 3 enemies around me, I'm gonna have 130% increase. So let's try that. Get 3 dummies here. Ready? So 50 or 70. Let's activate it. 12,581. That's how much my health is. Look at this shit. That is insane. Imagine just in this shit with this. You jump in and then you have like Guardian Angel, you have GA, and you have Gargoyles. Like Jesus Christ. You can still build the lockets and use the locket for early game for the shield, because the shield is really, really nice. Now, because you're not gonna have that much health early game, and you really want to protect your ADC. But late game, if you're melee, just act as initiator. You can sell this item and then buy Gargoyles, right? And just tower dive with GA. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, man. 130% HP increase, actually more than double your current HP. They really have to ignore you at that time. If they don't ignore you, they're beating your health for no reason, right? Let's test it. So you can see I'm taking the tower shot. All right, Garrett, you can keep on hitting me. I don't mind, right? Keep on hitting me. That's fine. Go ahead. Right? What are you gonna do? That's exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden you feel like the tower's not doing damage to me anymore. So I'm gonna activate Gargoyles enchant. I have 11,000 HP. Look at that. It does no damage. It literally does not. Like, it's doing damage to me for no reason, right? Like, look. Oh my goodness. Imagine engaging with this Guardian Angel. I cannot wait to actually use this item if I ever get to play tank again. Filmable Winter. Filmable Winter is a new tier of goddess item that is very strong on specific tanks. We're nerfing it so those tanks are permanently shielded. Now personally, I've never used this item, but if you actually read the item descriptions, you will find out this item will give you a shield. Now once you finish tier of goddess and the tier of goddess, then eventually get all the mana, you turn this item into the finished product, which is Filmable Winter. Once you get this item, every time you immobilize enemy target, you get a shield, and this shield will actually multiply based on how many enemy teams champions are around you. Now that is really cool. So I think this item will work really, really well on Alistar, because Alistar's skill cooldown around 15 seconds to 14 seconds also. So even if they nerfed it to 10 seconds to 15 seconds after you get those cooldowns, Even if you get those cooldown reductions and you're low, you can still engage, knowing that you're gonna get a shield if you knock somebody up or knock a group of people up. Now that is so cool. So I can't wait to try this item because I've never done it. So now you have Gargoyles enchant, you have the Filmable Winter. When you go in, you get a shield, and you can, when you're shield right now, you can activate your Gargoyles or engage with Gargoyles with the shield, with the HP and tank tower shots. I mean, that would be pretty disgusting. So now let's go into Ability Haste. The most interesting changes in Wild Rift right now. Ability Haste is now replacing the cooldown reduction. What is cooldown reduction? Cooldown reduction is something that's adding on the original cooldown of the skill. For example, if a skill takes you 10 seconds to, you cast it again, getting 30% cooldown reduction means you can now cast the skill 7 seconds, right? Every time. Cast it 7 seconds, you refresh your cooldown, cast 7 seconds. However, if you get a 10% extra cooldown reduction, which means 40%, now that's 1 extra second off from the 10 seconds. But that's 1 second off of the current existing 7-second cooldown that is for that skill. So basically, this 1 second off that 7 seconds is a lot more than a 10% cooldown reduction you're getting. You're getting a lot more for what you're paying for, right? So the cooldown reduction is actually a little bit imbalanced because the cooldown reduction is intended for the current skill cooldown reduction. That's why the more you're getting, the more you're stacking cooldown reduction, the more beneficial you're getting. So they're capped at 40%. That's how Riot is balancing it so far. But now they finally find a way to completely change the system where they're using the concept called Ability Haste. What it is basically, instead of saying we're going to give you cooldown reduction directly, we're going to give you a frequency, how often you can cast your skill. Let's say you can cast a skill like once every 10 seconds right now, right? So you can just cast a skill every 10 seconds. Let's say number 1 represents casting the skill once per 10 seconds, right? So if you can get 50 ability haste, it's 50 divided by 100, 0.5 plus 1. Now this means you can cast your skill 1.5 times more frequently than before, right? And then not having the 50 ability haste. This doesn't mean you're getting 50% cooldown reduction, okay? It doesn't mean your cooldown all of a sudden is 5 seconds, no. It just means you can cast your skill 1.5 times more frequently than the once per 10 seconds. So if you do the math, that is probably end up to be 30%, around 30% cooldown reduction. Now, thanks to the power of the internet, we got this chart that I can finally show you guys. You can see right now that about 50 ability haste, you get 30% cooldown reduction, and in order to get the past 40% cooldown reduction, you need 70 ability haste. That is quite a bit, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, Riot has told you that in this patch, like what have they changed regarding different items and different enchants. For example, evolved blue buff, right? Instead of 20% CDR, you get 20 ability haste. On top of this, you still have to get another 50 ability haste in order to get the old cooldown reduction, in order to get the 40% cooldown reduction. That is insane. Now, this also tells you you don't have to worry about stacking an item that just give you ability haste, right? The item that used to give you cooldown reduction, now I'll give you ability haste. You don't have to worry about that cap anymore. Oh my god, I'm getting extra, cooldown reduction more than 40. I'm just wasting an attribute of the item. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You can get as much as you want, but you're gonna get a diminishing return, right? The more ability haste you get, the less cooldown reduction you're gonna get. For example, at 5 ability haste, you're gonna get about 5% cooldown reduction, right? But as you go higher, you can see that the more that you get, from 70 to 100, you get 30 extra ability haste, but your cooldown reduction only went from 41% to 50. You only get a 10% extra cooldown reduction. So in order to get 100% cooldown reduction, you need 1900 ability haste. I mean, close to 100% cooldown reduction. That's insane. In fact, if you stack 4 or 5 awakened soul stealer, that's like 125 of the ability haste, plus your boots, another 15, that's 140, right? About 140, you're gonna have about 60%. That's basically your current cap right now, instead of the 40%. Now remember, if you just build cooldown reduction, if you just build ability haste, it's gonna take away a lot of your damage, right? What about your magic penetration items? What about a very, very important voice staff? What about an item like Rabadons that give you a huge ability power increase? What about some utility items that you really need, like Maraudonomicon, right? For example, enemy have Mundo, have Nasus, really have to cut those heal. What about all those items? So you can't just purely stack ability haste. And that's why I think it's a nerf, because in fact, one of the most loved champion for me, mage-wise, is Orianna. I love Orianna, right? If I just go with the old build for Orianna, if I just build the same way I used to do, which I can... So if you take a look at my Orianna build, if you just build all the current items, Archangel Staff, they eventually transfer into Seraph's Embrace, and you have Leandre's, right? You have your boots that turn into a 15 Ability Haste Lucidity. You have your Rabadon, you have everything. If you add up, this is my build. This is my standard build. Let's just say you go with the current build. That's 25 plus the 15. That's 40. If you get blue buff, that's 60. So basically, you're only getting like 37.5. It's close to 40, I know. If you don't get blue buff, which a lot of time you don't until late game, right? Because you want to give the blue buff to your jungler early game. So I think the current ability haste, just think of it as, if you can, really calculate the cooldown reduction, you can always check out your skill cooldown in your skill descriptions. But still, just think of it as a tiny nerf to all the mages on cooldowns, but you do not have to worry about building tons of like overlapping ability haste items, because they all give you benefits, just a diminishing return. With that being said, let's quickly come into the next category, which is dragons. We want taking dragon to be impactful. Eventually Wild Rift will adopt the dragon soul system in the future. These changes are the first step towards that. The base burn damage, 50 true damage per second over 3 seconds, changed to 45 true damage per second over 3 seconds, so that is reduced. The burn damage per dragon though now scale from 45 to 60 to 75 to 90 per 1, 2, 3, 4 dragon your team has taken, including Elder Dragon itself. So basically, the most important lesson to learn here is, now you really have to stack those dragons. Now it's really about the dragon fights. What this does is forcing teams to combat dragons. When the dragon spawns at first 4 minutes, when the dragon spawns again at 8 minutes or 4 minutes after, you have to go take those dragons. If you don't combat, if you don't take the dragon fights, if you just give the dragon to the enemy team, they're gonna win the game very, very easily. They're gonna scale to the late game. They're gonna get a lot more bonuses. They're gonna get burn damage. That scales. Oh my goodness. Now that's insane burn damage. The Elder Dragon, the Elemental Drake effects increased by 50% per dragon taken. Let's say you get 3 dragons already, right? Your Inferno Dragon is your last dragon, or your Inferno Dragon is your Elder Dragon. Now you have 4 dragons after taking that, right? You're taking 4 dragons. That's 300% increase on the Inferno Dragon effect. You know how strong that is? If somebody happened to get that, the game is literally over, right? If you get Ocean Dragon, imagine the Omni Wamp. That is hugely increased, right? I think right now it's 8% Omni Wamp. You get the Ocean Dragon. If you get a 300% increase on that bonuses, so you get like 24%, right? Everybody go in, they hit like a truck in the life steal, they don't die. Like I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't stack dragon at this point. I couldn't think of a reason why you wouldn't want to contest dragon. You want to fight to the last breath to get those dragons. This is a very, very impactful change. I wish everybody know about this. You have to contest dragon. Even now you have to combat dragons, but with the dragon soul system, guys, you really have to not lose a single dragon. If you let enemy teams snowball with the dragon, the game is over. So my initial second charge delayed by 10 seconds. That's really good, because now you don't have to be forced to use smite right off the bat. Runes, fleet footwork, they nerfed the healing, so the marksman cannot heal that much in lane anymore. Now other notes, improved Wild Rift's matchmaking to lower ping and skill disparity. So I think they just kind of optimize the server, I hope. Hopefully we can play against more Korean players, Korea. A limit to gifts sent in one day. I don't know how much is that, because I'm gonna do giveaway. I do giveaway every day now. Make sure to come to live stream with the link in the description. Lower AFK penalty timing. I don't know what that is. Basically if you go AFK in a game, they nerfed it where you can play the game faster. Why? If somebody go AFK, this should be penalized. Right? Chat setting will now default to off until account reach level 8. Doesn't matter. Emotes now glow in game, shiny. Okay, guys. This is all the changes happening in this patch. Hope you guys understand what Ability Haste is. I hope this has definitely helped you. What do you guys think about this update? What do you guys think about this patch? Right? Leave a comment in the comment section. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. With that, love you guys. AssassinDave signing off. See you guys next time. Bye now.